There comes a time when we need to make a show for the world, the web and CNN. There's no people dying, so the best that we can do is create the greatest bluff of all.
All right, that obviously is a satirical version of We Are the World. It's circulating on the internet. Now it focuses on something very serious, the biased coverage of that Israeli flotilla incident. And now Reuters news agency is coming under fire for cropping out the blood of a wounded Israeli soldier and the knives of activists who were in the pictures at the confrontation. Now this is not the first time Reuters has been on the hot seat for their Middle East coverage. George Birnbaum is former chief of staff to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he joins us now to talk about this. Satire is about the only thing that Israel has left, isn't it?
Well, it's getting tough, isn't it? Although this is nothing new for Israel.
Now, we'll talk about the history in just a minute, but what Reuters is alleged of, these are very serious allegations, and we've got some examples of it. These are pictures of the flotilla incident. As you remember, the Israelis boarded these ships that were coming from Turkey and other places. And look at the before and after. Keep it on this shot for a while here. Before, you can see clearly in that red circle a knife being held by one of the peoples. That's an Israeli soldier who's been knifed on the ground. He's also been beaten. And the way they cropped it on the right, as you can see, you can't see the knife anymore. We have another picture, I think, of the blood that has been also removed. You can see there in the red circle, that's where you can see the blood from the shot. By the time the picture ended up on the Reuters news agency, the blood had been cropped out. I mean, accidental? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like you said, this isn't the first time Reuters has made this type of mistake. They added smoke and flames to a picture to make the bombings in the southern Lebanon war look even worse than they were.
That was back in, what, 2006?
Correct.
2006, there were these pictures. And now the photographer who doctored the photographs in that case was fired by Reuters. So Reuters did step up when it was shown that they were fake photos.
Correct. Well, you know, Helen Thomas quit when she was exposed for her true beliefs. And I think Reuters is rapidly, unlike the New York Times, which has all the news that's fit to print, Reuters is becoming, all the news that's fit to fake. It's a very dangerous thing. I mean, the jump to judgment on Israel in this recent incident with the flotilla is amazing.
How effective, by the way, is the propaganda? Again, we can see these are some of the Israeli photos where they tried to show that the people that they shot did have sticks and other weapons.
Judging by the reaction of the international community and the media in the first 24 to 48 hours of the news cycle, it was very effective.
But it's even Israelis. I cut out an article written by a woman named Fania Oz-Salzberger. She's a professor at Haifa University in Israel. She's an Israeli. She's now teaching at Princeton. She wrote this piece for a website that's titled "Ashamed of My Country. What the Israeli government did to them was a sin." Are even Israelis being fooled by some of this information?
I'm not so sure. She may be a left-wing activist, which is, it's
I don't think
enough.
she is.
Well, I'm not so sure. I mean, Michelle Obama was ashamed of this country until they elected her husband president. So it's not unusual for left-wing Israelis to be ashamed of Israel. But I think some Israelis who have the tendency to want to be more leaning towards peace did react to the immediate news cycle of this. And even the Israeli government was a little slow to react in releasing their own footage and the real footage of the incident.
Now, Reuters has actually responded to charges that had doctored those photos, that had cropped out the blood and the knife. Here's what they said. Reuters is committed to accurate and impartial reporting. The images in question were made available in Istanbul, and following normal editorial practice, whatever that is, were prepared for dissemination, which included cropping at the edges. So they admit that there was cropping. When we realized that a dagger was inadvertently cropped from the images, Reuters immediately moved the original set as well. So again, they're backing off. But the point is, it looks like they do something, they're caught, and then they have to respond. How many things were they not caught on?
Right. And I don't know that it's inadvertent. I mean, the source that they got this from was the IHH, the Humanitarian Relief Fund, which is an organization linked to international terror. So the fact that they were using photos given to them by IHH should say a lot about Reuters' source for news.
George Birnbaum. George, great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate
it. We have some